Vegan Recipes with Pat and Emily.
Hi friends, thanks for joining me today on It's Vegan. For today's episode, I am going to share a recipe that I veganized a long time ago. It's a cold veggie pizza. This is one of my favorite summertime recipes. I love to take this recipe to picnics as an appetizer, so let's get started. I just wanted to let you guys know that if you are not planning on buying some type of vegan cream cheese, we do have a recipe for this for an earlier video where we make lox and schmear, and this is the vegan cream cheese that we make for that recipe. I will link that recipe below in the video, and you would have to do this ahead of time to have it ready for your veggie pizza. For this recipe, we are going to use crescent rolls. There are lots of veggies that need to be washed and prepped for this, so we already have our veggies soaking in the sink. Let's just get this out of the package here. You're going to want to unroll this, but keep it all in one piece. I'm going to turn this so it goes the same direction as my pan and unroll it the rest of the way. I go through and kind of smash all of the perforations together. This is going to be our pizza crust. Most time-consuming part of this would be if you're going to make your vegan cream cheese from scratch, that will have to sit for 3 days. But besides that, prepping all your veggies will take the most time for this recipe. Then we're going to stretch it out a little bit. I'm going to spin my pan around here. I'm going to flatten this whole crust out a little bit. You want to get it all about the same thickness the whole way through.
You want the little rolling pin to smooth it?
I don't ever smooth it.
Okay.
I leave it like this. I just try to make sure all my little seams are together. Thin spot there. We'll just squish a little dough over that way. Now, we want to get this in the oven and cook it just like this. While it's in the oven, I am going to start chopping my veggies. These are all of the veggies that we had today to use for our pizza. We are going to wash them and then chop them up finely. Sometimes we use mushrooms and cucumbers that we did not have this time. I will chop up the red onion and then soak it in water. This is the plate of veggies after they've all been cut up, and this is about the size you're going to want them. This recipe is flexible and you can add veggies that you like or take away some that you're not into. While that's baking, we are going to mix up our vegan cream cheese. The recipe that we use for making this is cashew based. I have a recipe for ranch dressing that's vegan. We will have that below. I was lucky enough to find a dip mix that did not have any dairy in it. And we like to have it nice and thick for on our bagels, but you're going to probably want to water it down for this because you're not going to want to break your crescent rolls while we're spreading this on it. So I have a little bit of water. I'm going to start with a tablespoon of water, so you have an idea of what I'm adding. By the way, there's no added fat when you're using the cashew cream, the recipe that we provide. Well, that might be all I want to add, just 1 tablespoon of water. Oh, and we do add a 1/4 cup extra cashews when making this because we want to end up with 8 ounces of this spread. Our other original recipe was slightly under that. That will all be noted below in the recipe. I think that looks good. This is about the consistency that you are going to want to end up with. It's still pretty thick, but it will easily spread. We cooked this according to the directions on the package. Now we are going to want to get it off to let it cool. It's a little stuck on your spatula. You want to let this get nice and crispy. But we do want to take it off the pan to cool because we do not want it to retain any of that moisture that it would if we let it cool on the pan. Alright. Now, while this cools, we can finish prepping our veggies. You do want this 100% cold before we start topping it. Everything is chilled and cut. Our cream mixture is ready. We're just going to spread this evenly. It does take a little more effort to spread than cream cheese. I also wanted to mention that sometimes we put tomatoes on here. Didn't do tomatoes today. I also like to put olives and mushrooms on here, but don't have either of those today. Yeah, I have taken this to parties where I know I was the only vegan there and served it, and no one noticed.
And there were no leftovers.
That's true. No leftovers either. Often I'm able to find a bag of mixed fresh vegetables, which is nice, so you don't end up with so many fresh vegetables in your fridge at once. It can be a little overwhelming to buy all of these at once. So that's a nice option. All right. Now it's time to start topping with our veggies. I'm going to start with the celery here. Generally speaking, you will use about 4 cups of chopped veggies for this. I believe I said it earlier, but you can use whatever veggies you like on here. Now I'm starting to add some of the carrots. I do like to go a little heavier with the broccoli and cauliflower than the other vegetables. Personal preference. And if I end up with extra veggies for this, I just end up with a deluxe salad. I have radishes here. Sometimes we do radishes, sometimes we don't. We had them, so they're going on. Yellow peppers, red peppers, and green peppers. Try to avoid filling this pizza too full because it will just be a mess when people try to pick up pieces to eat. Better to leave it a little emptier than way too full, in my opinion. All these bright, vibrant colors. So make your eyes and your mouth happy. Push it all the way out to the edges and I pat it down. You want all of your veggies dry when you're doing this. You don't want to use any wet vegetables. You'll get extra moisture on here that you're not going to want. From here, option. Do you want to put vegan cheese on here or not? That is up to you. I also took an avocado and sliced it up and soaked it in lemon juice. I am going to strain these and pat them dry with this flour sack. I'm going to put vegan cheese on mine. It is optional. I do like the way that it looks, and I even feel like the orange shreds make it a little more brighter and kind of festive. Again, pat it down a little bit. I got a little bit more right here. I don't think I had any on there. Now it's time to slice this up. I like to slice this into smaller pieces because I'm usually using it for an hors d'oeuvre at a party, but you could cut it as big or small as you would like to. Now that this is all sliced up, it's time to add our pieces of avocado. Again, this is optional, but I think the avocado makes a nice garnish, and it does add a little extra creaminess to the pizza, and I'm just a big fan of avocados. If you do decide to add the avocado, make sure that you do it last minute, as you do not want it to have time to brown before you serve it. I've made up my first tray. This size pizza would fill 2 trays this size, and I am just sprinkling a tiny bit of smoked salt right on the top of this avocado for a little extra garnish and a little extra pop of flavor. Now it's time for the taste test. A delicious flaky crust, crunchy vegetables, pretty and tasty. This is one of my favorite things, definitely to take to a party or a picnic. I hope you'll give this recipe a try. Come back next week. Give me a like.